.605 first pitch. Here we go. It's the Inland Sports Show. My name is Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in tonight, live and amplified from Teen Vision TV 16. Again, another busy week of Inland Empire sports. There's so much to talk about. We always find creative angles as we get closer to the upcoming seasons, whether it's high school or college, coming up this winter. A little bit later in the show, we're going to have Redlands skipper from their high school baseball team, Estevan Valencia, who's now an athletic director. Wow, what a time to become an athletic director right now, trying to juggle all of these obstacles, I guess, as we get ready for high school sports. So we're going to talk more high school, more college as well with our good friend Tim Cook, local college basketball coach from Life Pacific. But right now, standing by live, as we get ready for high school football in a couple months. He was begging to come on the show, and I finally said yes. It's Ken Batdorf from Norte Vista High School. Coach, I don't know if that's entirely true, but we love having you on here.
Yeah, a little bit of a white lie about you, but that's okay. Happy to help you.
And, Coach, I know you're probably giving away all your game plans for the upcoming football season on the dry erase board behind you.
You know, it says it all. Run the ball. We may open it up this year and throw like 3 passes.
The aerial circus of Ken Batdorf. Coach, let me ask you about this upcoming football year. You know, we're not going to have games until January. So what do you think the next couple of months might look like for a high school program in the Inland Empire?
Well, first we have to get cleared by our district to start practicing. The county has cleared us, but obviously the district's going to be a little more nervous, you know, a little more apprehensive getting kids out there. Back in June, I went and bought gallons of hand sanitizers, masks. I was ready. And I realized we couldn't use a ball. But my thought was, I need my kids getting bigger, faster, stronger. And if we do that at Norte Vista, we're going to be fine. And I know a lot of guys are complaining about, you know, when can we start throwing a ball around? I don't care. I just want my kids getting out, getting in shape. If we're in shape, we're going to be all right.
Well, Coach, you know, you talk about those preparations that you know, buying all the hand sanitizer and masks to get ready to whenever you take the field to kind of be ready to do it safely, I guess you could say, when guys return to practice.
Right.
You know, a football practice, it's not going to look the same whenever you guys get on the field. I guess it's just going to look different, maybe with smaller groups and the social distancing and, you know, like you said, no ball, like there's like maybe no football in the you know, some of the first practices. Have you, I mean, you've been around the game a long time. Have you thought like, man, these practices, when we finally get to them, they're going to just look so much different than what we're used to?
I already had a practice plan. I was under the impression we were going to start on July 6th, and then we got pushed back, and I understand it. I don't like it, but I understand it. And I had our groups in anywhere from 8 to 9 kids, and I was going to have them rotate all the way around the field to get their workouts in. One coach might be in charge of footwork, another guy doing cone drills, doing laps, conditioning, doing bounding boxes, plyometrics. So I had all that stuff planned out. So, and whenever I get the okay, that's what I'm going to start with. We're going to start really trying to do conditioning. And then as we can, we'll start doing more individual groups, small groups still. And then as we get to go ahead, we'll start introducing larger groups. And maybe like a day or two before our first game, we'll introduce a football.
Coach, what makes this week tough for me is this would have been week 0. We would have had our first high school football games this week. This would be week 0. Who was your opponent this Friday or Thursday?
It was going to be Paloma Valley, and I'm trying to find any positives. We had to try to be positive about it. I'm thinking, after school today, instead of going out in 105, 107 degree temperatures, and I would have done it for a couple hours and yelled and screamed, I went home and climbed in my pool, and then I got ready for your show. So it was a little bit relaxing. But in all said, I would much rather be out practicing and suffering through the heat. But I try to find some positives. We got great kids. They're ready to work. We just need to go ahead. And obviously, we want things safe for everybody.
Coach, would this be this upcoming season? Is that year number 27 for you at Norte Vista? Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm only 30.
I mean, when you
but I look good.
I know you look great. I was saying you combed your hair for us, and you look fantastic.
I know. I didn't wear a hat. I got dressed up for this.
But here's the thing: you still have that raspy coach's voice, even though you haven't.
It won't go away. It won't go away. We actually looked into it this year to say, is there something structurally wrong? And Pat McCarthy had a problem with his throat, and it made me start thinking maybe something's wrong with me. So, no, they just said it's all the yelling for the last, some odd years. And I haven't talked to Pat. I do have to give him a call right when we're done. He is fighting the battle with cancer, and my prayers go out to him and his family. And, he found out because he was losing his voice and yelling, and shoot, I lose my voice all the time, and it's raspy 24/7. So that's who I am.
Coach, what are some things that you can do to just kind of support your football players? I know the distance learning thing is now happening for the Alvord schools and really everybody. But what are some things that you can do to just kind of support them, whether it's educationally, emotionally, physically, just things that you can do to make sure that they're doing okay as you get closer to football?
And you kind of hit your nail on the head. We all want to talk about the physical aspect and get our kids in shape and lift and run. And right now, I'm more worried about our kids psychologically and socially. It's been a real difficult change. So I've been calling kids or texting kids regular basis. I had scavenger hunts. If anybody saw kids in the city of Riverside digging holes, I'm not making it up either. We did scavenger hunts, and I gave them weird clues, and some of the kids were able to, I know what that means. Other kids are like, who the hell cares what the state motto is? But it was fun for me, and it was fun for the kids. And, doing anything different, trying to get them thinking, not doing the same thing. I check their attendance for Zoom or Google Classroom. If I see a kid couple days, I'm on the phone talking to them. Hey, what's going on? I tell all the kids, if you have an issue, let me know. If your family needs groceries, you guys need whatever, I'm going to go help. I was blessed. I have a job. I'm still paid. Some of our kids, and we have a lot of hardworking families that are out of work. Some got unemployment, some didn't. So if me giving them some groceries helps, by all means.
Football is such a tight-knit camaraderie, a tight-knit family, you could say. Is it hard even just not being around them? For all these months, you would have went through spring ball and done some summer stuff, and now we would have been going into the football season, but you probably haven't seen these guys, since March.
I mean, we really haven't. I've seen a few kids. I did spring practice by Zoom, and luckily my daughter was able to kind of help me with it. And what I would do is, the first practice was the worst. It was awful. But then I realized I'm going to go Zoom at a kid's house, and I would rotate kid to kid to kid to kid to kid. And if you weren't logged on, I would drive to your house. And because I knew the families well enough and well enough established, I would wear my mask. I would go out there and say, look, is it okay if, Aiden or Jose or whoever works with me because he missed my practice? And the parents are like, oh, sure, coach, take him, kill him, do whatever you need to do. But we would do that. And I would do about a 30-minute workout with the kids. And, it worked. It was tough. My truck had Wi-Fi, so I could drive anywhere I needed to, and I could still do all this. So I did that. Now we're seeing the kids. And what's funny is when I start my class, football class, all the kids are at each other. They're making fun of each other. And I, ask kids, how much do you weigh? What's going on here? And it's really interesting because, as you said, I haven't seen kids in 5 months. And in 5 months, a lot can change. So I have a lot of kids who've gotten a little bit better shape, lost some weight. I have some kids that have grown several inches. So it's really going to be interesting when I finally get to see them in person.
Well, Coach, because of the CIF calendar, that first week of high school football games will be January 8th, 2021. What are your thoughts of just playing in? It's going to be cold. It could be potentially wet. I mean, if you're going to run that football, which I think Norte Vista is going to do this season, I mean, that's going to play right into your game plan, right?
It might help us a little bit. You never know. It's one of those things where I love the cold personally. It could be 0 outside and I'm going to wear shorts. Just ask Oak Hill's famous story about me wearing shorts up there, and it started snowing. So it's good for me. I love the cold weather. It should be fun. I told our kids, and most of our kids love the idea of playing in cold weather. But it's still going to be difficult. It's going to be interesting. In my district, we get a week off every February. So every February, I go to Hawaii for a week. This week's going to be other shoes out. It's a really nice place at the Marriott, Ocean View. But football comes first, and it's obviously a priority. So, we'll be doing that. And then hopefully we can play all the way through to April.
Well, Coach, on the flip side then, so we've got, September, October, November. Are there things in the fall months that you've never been able to do because of football that you're like, okay, maybe we can get away for Thanksgiving? Maybe we do. So, is there something specific in those fall months that you've always put on the back burner because of football that you can now do?
No. It's one of those things where I've done it for so long. I mean, somebody's like, oh, wouldn't that be great to watch like Notre Dame at Notre Dame Stadium? Well, I still can't do that. So a lot of those little things I can't do. Could I fly somewhere? Maybe, but right now you can't go anywhere. So, I mean, like thousands of other football coaches, I fixed up my garage. I worked on my backyard. My house got painted. So, I was looking for things to do. And I think I'm hoping this fall I can start working at practice and try to get our kids competitive and ready to play football.
And Coach, this is something I've brought up with some other people too, not just football coaches, but, the weight room is just so important to, obviously get their bodies right, maybe even prevent injuries down the road. How important is it, like once you get the green light, that they say, okay, Coach, go ahead, get your guys together, start doing whatever you got to do to work out and get ready for the season. How fast are you guys going to jump in that weight room?
As soon as I can. I think our program, more than just about any other program, is based on strength and power. And, in all honesty, I have a phenomenal group of senior linemen coming back. We're about 10, 12 deep, which is unheard of. And we were talking about their maxes in March when we ended and where they would be now. And we know they're not there. but I need to get those kids as close to that as possible. We were going to have probably 10 or 12 kids benching 315 or more. And that would have been a school record for us. There were a lot of goals that we had established. So as soon as I can get them in the weight room, we need to be there. As I said, our offense is built on power and strength. And if we have that, plus the quickness that we've been developing, I think we're going to be okay. But it's just, it kind of levels the playing field if we're not doing anything right now.
Well, you know, you're right. And it is a level playing field at this point because there's no one really out there in the weight room or practicing or anything like that. I don't know. Hopefully.
But see, like,
go ahead.
Orange County is practicing. They're doing stuff. And our first game of the season will be against Orange High. And they're a great football team. A lot of credit to their program. They're working out already. And I understand it's a different county, different rules, different district. So it's really interesting when we start talking about the level playing field. Is it level or is it not? You could argue. Our kids' socioeconomic backgrounds are significantly lower. So we don't have weights to go lift at home. We can't go to personal trainers. For I know personal trainers are still doing stuff. And our kids are just going to have to do what they have to do. Push-ups, sit-ups, lunges. I know, like, I heard one kid had his own weight set, and 5 or 6 kids went to visit him. And, you know, that he's got friends now, which is great. So it's really sometimes not a level playing field. And then you get the crazier part. You get some of the upper middle class and upper class schools. They're losing kids traveling out of state.
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry about that. My kids are loyal. They're going to stay there. And we're going to hopefully get in shape and be ready to play in a few months.
Yeah, that whole level playing field conversation, I think, is going to be going on for a while because you're right. The different districts, different schools are going to be starting at different points. And you, like you said, you could have an opponent who has weeks under their belt before you.
Months, possibly.
Yeah. It's
I mean, and it's what you have to do to deal with it. I mean, for me, the brightest spot is when we get into league, it's schools that are around here. You know, we're going to play Hillcrest, La Sierra, they're in our district. Ramona, Arlington, they're in Riverside district. I don't see them doing stuff, you know, without us. You got Patriot, similar type of thing. So I think we'll all start together. So I'm hoping that's a little bit more level playing field. And hopefully I get our kids ready to play in the short period of time that we have.
Well, Coach, I always love catching up with you. I'm glad to hear you are doing well. I'm glad to hear you're still going to run the football, hopefully this upcoming season, unless you go to that spread offense. So, you know, I'll throw that rumor out there for you. Maybe I'll just get that circulating a little bit on social media.
You know, we do have some kids this year that can catch the football. And if you want to start a crazy rumor,
yes,
we might even do punt return.
Oh. Now we're getting real crazy around here.
Well, you know, it's one of those things where we'll see. But as I said, I got a great group of kids. I can't wait to get them on the field and see them. We're returning on offense like 8 starters, and the replacements are doing a great job. And I mean, we were really excited about this season, and we just can't wait to compete.
Well, Coach, great seeing you. Hopefully the next time I do see you, it'll be at a practice or on a sideline as we get closer to football practice.
Yep. Otherwise, I'm just going to drive my wife crazy, and, you know, that's never a good thing.
I have a feeling you might have already hit that point.
Yeah, well, I went out and bought a new car. That didn't really go over well. I didn't even ask her. I just showed up with it. So she's like, what is that?
Is that the fancy truck with the Wi-Fi?
No, I've already had that. This is a little over the top.
Well, I'm glad you're making good use of your downtime during this period of quarantine. So,
well, what else am I going to do? Drive a nice car around?
That's all.
I'll probably get like 20 tickets and then sell it. So,
well, you can't get out of the car. You can drive it all around town. You just can't go to a restaurant or movies or anything. But you can drive it around and look cool.
Hey, as long as I look good.
That is Ken Batdorf, the head football coach at Norte Vista High School. Join us here on the Inland Sports Show. Coach, you're the best. You're also a Zoom expert now. We appreciate that. And let's talk again soon. I appreciate it.
Anytime you need me, I'm here for you.
All right, that's Ken Batdorf, head football coach at Norte Vista. Join us here live on the Inland Sports Show. He's always a character and always a good sport here. We're getting closer to the high school football season. What will the next couple of months look like? Gosh, that is a very good question, and it might look a lot different from school to school, district to district. And as you heard from Coach Ken Batdorf, some of those Orange County schools, like their first opponent, Orange High School, doing some workouts right now. So we'll see how quickly Novi can actually get in the weight room or on the field and start doing some sort of training, some workouts to get ready for the season, with the first games being in January. We're going to take a quick commercial break here. When we come back, more Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
We are the IE. We work hard. In fact, that's the way we like it. We wake up early, we stay up late to get the job done right. That blue-collar, hard-working mentality is the same reason we have so many successful teams and coaches and athletes in the Inland Empire. We never give up. We are a resilient bunch in the IE. Everything we have, we've earned. No excuses. It's this determined attitude is what powers our small businesses, and that's how championships are won. The Inland Sports Team is looking to team up with other like-minded small businesses in the IE. Together, we can grow. We can be bigger and better. If it was easy, everyone would do it, but we're not looking for easy, just looking for an opportunity. Joining the Inland Sports Team could be the opportunity that you've been looking for. I'm busy. I got things to do. But I really need an oil change. I just need something fast and affordable. Well, I'm right off the 91 in Arlington. Let's go check out Spoiled. And they even got a 10-minute oil change special. I love it.
And then lastly, how do you
Stickers up, lights reset on day one.
Okay, looks like you're all set.
Have a good one.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Thanks for everything.
Spoiled, quick quality oil change right off the 91 freeway at Arlington.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taken care of, whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. And we have customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time. And then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Hey guys, Pep Fernandez here from the Inland Sports Show. First and foremost, I hope everyone out there and their families are healthy and safe right now. I know we all want sports to come back. We want to see them sooner than later, and the quickest way to do that is by simply wearing a face covering. The County of Riverside has a website called pledgetofightcovid.com. In fact, it's on your screen right now. And basically, we just want people to pledge that if you wear a mask, if you social distance, if you wash your hands frequently, that is the quickest way to get kids back in school, get people back to work. And again, I know it's not the most important thing, but we all love sports and we want to see them sooner than later. We have a lot of inland sports masks. I know I'm not getting out quite as often as I'd like a lot of you out there. But when I do, we will start distributing a lot of these masks. We got ours at Ken's Sporting Goods. There's the website on your screen. If you're a local business, maybe an organization, a school, or a team, you can get yours as well. That's kensportinggoods.com. And again, if you want local sports to return, we got to do 3 things. Cover your face, maintain your space, and wash your hands just in case. Show live and amplified on a Wednesday night. Big thanks to Ken Batdorf, the head football coach at Norte Vista High School. Always a character. We love having him on. This weekend out in Beaumont at the Symetra Tour event. They're rolling into town. Another big tournament as a bunch of young ladies trying to punch their card to the LPGA. It's the IOA Championship presented by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. She is the pride of UC Riverside, and she's live on the show, Savannah Vilaubi. Savannah, thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. I know the big tournament is starting on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Talk about this tour and, obviously trying to perform well on this tour so you can go to the big show, right, to the LPGA.
Yeah, absolutely. So this tour is absolutely fantastic. This is probably the most important stepping stone to get to the LPGA. So to have an event kind of in the old stomping grounds is pretty exciting. It looks like a big old meatball over home plate, of course, but we're going to stay process oriented and just take it shot by shot and enjoy being in my home state. So, yeah.
So the tournament is going to be at Tukwet Canyon out in Beaumont. Did you ever play there when you were at UC Riverside or any tournaments there?
Actually, yes. So we used the course quite a few times for team qualifiers while I was at Riverside. And then I played it quite a few times too during junior golf. So the course is definitely familiar, and it's pretty cool because you get to see the course from a couple different stages of your life. When you're a junior player, it's so daunting and just how do I tackle this thing? How do I find my way to red numbers here? But as you get older, your strategy changes and you realize you're pretty good. So yeah, pretty exciting being at Beaumont.
Well, this is not breaking news. I'm Captain Obvious here, but it's going to be hot this coming weekend. I'm sweating just walking outside of the building to the car. So, what do you do when you're on the course? Do you have any secrets or tips how to maybe not let the heat be another opponent? It's something you can just, overcome and just focus on your golf game as opposed to thinking, man, it's hot out here.
Yeah, so what you want to do is in between shots, you send yourself on vacation to Antarctica or something, and then just hope that you regain consciousness when it's time to hit your shot. But no, honestly, it just takes a lot of hydrating the day before, days before even. Can't wait till you're thirsty to start drinking water, as they say. And really, you really do kind of have to act like nothing is the matter when it's time to hit your shot. You can choose to let the heat affect you and choose to let it lead to a bad swing or a lack of judgment. And, it could lead to a bogey or something bigger. So, it's on you to do what you can to physically prepare. Make sure your nutrition is good and your hydration is good. And then just bring that mental fortitude and act like nothing is wrong when it's time to hit your shot.
Savannah, correct me if I'm wrong. So I think at the end of this tour, which is 9 different events, is it the top 5 in money that get that card to go to the LPGA? Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, you're spot on with that. So this year, due to the COVID climate, things have changed for us. And we usually graduate 10 girls to the LPGA Tour, but this year it will be 5, so long as we can fit 8 tournaments on the schedule.
I mean, is there pressure mounting just because you're like, man, there's not really that many events. Like, I cannot, have like a bad, tournament this weekend. Like, everyone's going to count. Like, do you try to block that out, or do you kind of embrace that pressure? How do you approach that, knowing, like this could be the difference between you, going to the LPGA?
Right. So, that's a great point. You can choose to look at it with a ton of pressure and, wear it on your back. But what's really great about this season is that because so many international players are members of this tour, they're not all able to leave their countries or may not feel safe to travel right now internationally. So the tour decided not to penalize us if we didn't feel that conditions were suitable to play, So, there is a lot of confidence that comes from knowing that, hey, I'm just going to play this, and no matter what happens, I'm going to maintain my status for the next season. I have a shot at the LPGA then as well. But if you can get it done this season, that would be fantastic. So I just see it as an opportunity to jump ahead. But if not, then we're just going to make it part of the process and keep moving forward and make sure we have a really solid 21 season.
That was a great answer, Savannah. I do want to ask you, because you bring up a great point about, feeling safe playing golf right now and being on the course. What does a golf tournament look like right now? What are some modifications that, if you went out there, it's just going to feel and look a little bit different than maybe as opposed to a year ago? We're just kind of living in a different time right now.
Yes, it's definitely different. So fortunately about the thing about the golf courses is that they are quite a large real estate. So quite a large piece of real estate. So it's pretty easy to social distance, which is good. But usually if there are like kind of more tight gatherings, whatever, if we're in the scoring area, we are encouraged to wear our masks. Anytime we're indoors, of course, we're abiding by protocol and wearing masks whenever we can to keep everyone safe. So the player dining experience is a little different now. It's more of a grab and go rather than sit and dine in amongst friends. Similarly, they're discouraging us, from going out and doing other things like that with other players on the tour. For the safety of everybody else. We test every week to make sure that no one brings anything into the golf environment there. And we don't need to compromise that by doing something silly outside of the golf course, So things are a little bit different, but we know that it's just in the spirit of keeping a really strong next season. Mike Nichols said Mike Nichols and Mike Wan both said we want to leave COVID in 2020, and it requires us to abide by these protocol, whether or not we like it, and it's not that it's hard. It might just be a little different and inconvenient, but it's definitely worth it given what we have to look forward to next year.
And finally, Savannah, obviously trying to punch your ticket to the LPGA, but the money's nice. I saw the winner gets over $18,000. So that's another nice incentive, right, to win this tournament this weekend at Tukwet.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. Money's always a good thing.
So it's the Symetra Tour rolling into Tukwet Canyon. Friday, Saturday, Sunday would be the final round. The IOA Championship presented by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. The pride of UCR, Savannah Vilaby. Savannah, thank you for jumping on. We appreciate it. We know, you'll be off Friday morning, so you got a busy week getting prepared. But thank you for taking a couple minutes here on the Inland Sports Show. We do appreciate it.
Thank you. I look forward to this all day, so I appreciate the time equally.
You are way too nice. Thank you, Savannah.
This is good.
And best of luck all weekend. Best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Cheers.
All right, that's Savannah Vilaby here on the Inland Sports Show. What a great sport as well. When we come back here, we're going to talk with Estevan Valencia. He is the skipper, former skipper at Redlands High School, now the AD, and we're going to talk to him next here on the Inland Sports Show.
Kenny Clark from the Green Bay Packers, and you're watching the Inland Sports Show.
What I think separates Boost from a lot of other performance gyms out there is really our attention to detail with our athletes. We have small group sessions, whether it's speed or strength training, by CSCS coaches, so you're getting collegiate level coaches in small group setting, and it really gives us an opportunity to build an intimate relationship with our athletes, really make sure they're hitting their goals. I know all my athletes by name. It's a real family-like environment. We're a tight-knit gym with expert coaching, but we like it that way because we want to ensure that all of our athletes are getting better, all of our athletes are moving forward. So it's definitely not easy. We push our athletes, we have fun, but if you're the kind of athlete that likes to be pushed and you want to get better, you care about results, you got to come check us out.
In Riverside, just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Ken Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog.
Inland Sports. If you know you're going to go high in the draft, yeah, but if not, I think maybe they should get a COVID red shirt.
Man, you guys just brought up so many great points. There's so many layers to this. 40, you're right. Like, I think that there's a good chance that the Pac-12 just wipes out everything for a year. Right. For college football, like, let's say you're a great college football star and you're going to try to play in the spring, but you got the NFL draft coming up and all those things. They're going to be hiding out. And then college basketball, too. Patrick, you brought it up. College basketball starts like the first week of November, like real games, like first, second week in November, real games. The Pac-12 has already said they won't do anything until 2021. So you're basically saying 2 months of their season is just gone already for basketball. Do you even try to pick up the pieces and play like half a season? Like, oh my gosh, there's just so many layers to this.
Inland Sports.
Welcome back to the big show. Savannah Vilaby, the pride of UC Riverside, getting ready for the big Symetra Tour event out there in Beaumont. We appreciate her stopping in. Now we pivot over to the high school diamond and high school sports in general with Estevan Valencia joining us live from his front porch, from what I hear. Hey, Coach, first off, I want to throw you a curveball since you're a baseball guy at heart. So I was looking up your all-time career record at Redlands High School, and you are 220 wins, 161 losses, and one tie. What was that one tie? What were the circumstances behind that?
It was against, let me see here. It was against Centennial High School, George Wise.
Yeah.
And we were playing at George's place early in the season. I believe it was 2000, not 19, but the year before that, 18. And we weren't playing very well. And we came back and tied them. And we ran out of light. And to be honest with you, that was one of those where you go, you know what? I'll take my tie and go home back on on the 91 and through Riverside and back to Redlands. So, yeah, George wasn't too happy. He was mad because they ran at daylight. And,
he wanted to play it out. He wanted to play it out.
Yeah, he wanted, but his guy that umpires, we always joke around. It's the guy by the name of Orrin. Orrin always seems to umpire Corona Centennial games. So I think George has him in his back pocket. But yeah, we ended up tying like 3-3 or 4-4. And we came back and scored some runs in the top of the 7th. And then we were able to keep them from scoring in the bottom of the 7th. And so George was mad, but that was our one tie.
I love that story. Well, Coach, you had such a great run as the skipper for the Terriers, 15 seasons, but now you're the athletic director at Redlands High School. And what a time to move into administration as a high school AD, just because of all this COVID-19 stuff. What are some of the challenges of being an athletic director right now as you try to navigate through a lot of uncertainty going into this season?
For me, it's been just trying to kind of learn trial by fire, basically. Luckily I've got some good ADs in our Citrus Belt League. Rhonda Fouch over at Rev's been there forever. And then, she's, kind of written the book on ADs. And then you also have, Rich Imbriani over at Cajon. But for me, it's honestly, a lot of people worry about the schedule. It's not so much the schedule for me because the schedule it's already put out there. You've got to push some buttons to change the dates and stuff. But my biggest concern is going to be, how do I get all of these teams to practice? Redlands High School doesn't have a lot of space. And so we're on top of each other. It's such an old school. So how am I going to get 3 girls, 3 levels of girls soccer, 3 levels of boys soccer, and then also, track at the same time. Football will be finishing up. So I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to get everybody in on these spaces to practice. Tennis has the girls and boys going at the same time. So that's going to be the hardest part for me.
Estevan, you bring up such a great point because of I guess you'd call it early spring and late spring, however you want to kind of divide up these seasons coming up, that, there is a lot of crossover. Like, you're right, soccer, boys and girls soccer, boys and girls water polo, which would traditionally be different seasons. There's so many, volleyball and basketball overlapping, with gym space.
And you got badminton in there.
Yeah, exactly. Does it have to fit like a puzzle? Like, it's going to have to all just kind of come together, right? Perfectly.
Yeah, it's going to have to fit like a puzzle, and I've had an opportunity to meet with our coaches at Redlands High School, and I've told them we're going to have to be really nice this year. We're going to have to be very flexible. We're going to have to be willing to say, okay, I'm going to let open up my outfield or this area here, or we're going to share this facility. We're going to just have to be, exceptionally nice. And how coaches get, and as a coach, I had my practice time and I didn't want to share it with anybody, or weight room time or whatever. And this time we're just going to be on top of each other. So it's going to be interesting. We're just going to have to be nice. We're going to have to realize that this is for the kids. We're trying to create a great experience for the kids and for an opportunity for them to, compete and be part of a team. And so we're going to have to learn, figure stuff out like that.
Coach, if I can just for a second go back to baseball, 15 years leading the Terriers program. Was there a specific victory or a game or a moment when you look back and you're like, man, that was the pinnacle, or that was such a good time, or I have such a fond memory of that season or team or game? Is there something that really just kind of sticks out to you? And I don't want to slight everything else that you might not mention, but is there a special moment that you think about?
Well, it's funny because people have asked me that since I've stepped down as the baseball coach, and for me to say one team was better or one kid, I really can't. I don't want to slide anybody. They're all special in different ways every year, and every kid, whether we were really, really good or, we weren't very good. We had a good run for a while there for about 3 or 4 years where, we just seemed to be rolling. I had a good group of kids, but I've always had great kids, great parents, great support from administration. But when I look back in my 15 years there, I think it was honestly finally beating Jeff Stout. The first couple of years, Ukaipa just used to beat us up, and then we started getting rolling a little bit. And Jeff's a great guy. A lot of times people didn't, thought he was really kind of a gruff personality. And it's funny because when he ran the county clash, he would call and just say, hey, you want to be in the county class? Sure. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye. And then he'd hang up. And then one year after we had beat him, I think we swept him one year. And, I think we kind of earned his respect. Hey, you want to be in the county class? Yeah. Okay. So how's your family doing? And I'm like, am I talking to Jeff Stout? And so after that, it was a little different with relationship wise, how we got along with one another. He was the ultimate competitor. Coach Stout didn't like to lose, but kind of earning his respect, obviously 40 years as a high school baseball coach and a legend. To me, it was one of those kind of lasting moments where I'll always remember him. And, I even called him up one year and asked if I could sit in on his practice during the playoffs. And he thought I was joking with him and messing with him at first. And I said, no, you've done it well for so long. I just want to see what you're doing. And so, I think it's, there were some great guys. You had Jeff Stout and you had, John Austin, who's now at Citrus Valley, and, Steve Hernandez. And I mean, when I first got into coaching at Redlands High School, I thought this is easy. I'm coming over from a college level and going to do high school baseball now. This will be easy. But, the Citrus Belt League at that time had some legends, like I said, with Stout and Hernandez and Frank Martinez and Scotty Russell. And I mean, these guys forgot more baseball than I know.
Well, Coach, let's wrap it up with this because you are a baseball guy. The whole swinging on a 3-0 count, 3 balls, no strikes. Fernando Tatis, obviously, the other night hit a home run. That's one of those, they say they call them unwritten rules. If you're not a big baseball fan out there and you're watching this show like this, it's not a rule, but it's an unwritten rule that, if it's 3 balls, no strikes, you just take the next pitch. But Fernando Tatis of the Padres actually swung and hit, I think it was a grand slam, in fact.
Yeah, it was a grand slam.
Do you have a take on that, an opinion?
Yeah, I'm an old school guy. I'm not real old, but I'm not a young guy either. And you're beating us pretty bad. And I think you take what the game gives you. I think it's all about not showing up your opponent, and it's not so much about not having fun and not wanting to compete. But baseball's kind of always been that game where we don't want to rub our opponent's nose in it or anything like that, because in baseball, and like all sports, what goes around comes around. And so I've been on the end of, getting my brains beat in, and I've been on the end of where we've been beating teams up pretty good. And so, I think there's a certain way, and I get it, people want to go, hey, it's part of the game. Don't throw a 3-0 pitch down the middle. I get it. But, I think it comes down to, whether or not, you're trying to rub somebody's nose in it, things like that. But it's a fine line. It's a very fine line.
Well, Coach, I appreciate the time here on the show. In fact, I'm probably still going to call you Coach, even though you're the athletic director now at Redlands High School.
No, that's cool. I like that name.
You'll always be Coach to me. Estevan Valencia joined us here on the show. Thank you so much, Coach, and all the best to you as you go into this new endeavor as AD at Redlands High School. And hopefully the next time I see you, it'll be at a Terriers practice.
Absolutely. We're hoping that we get to run into each other. We appreciate all you do, and for the Inland Empire, Redlands High School, and Citrus Belt League, we love having you guys out there. So hope to see you soon on a field somewhere.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's Estevan Valencia from Redlands High School here on the Inland Sports Show. Okay, when we come back here on the show, one final segment, we're going to talk with Tim Cook, our resident basketball expert, all things hoops, when we come back on the Inland Sports Show.
96.7 KCal Rocks. What's up? It's Patrick and 40. Hey, man, you're watching the Inland Sports Show right here. Make sure you check out Pep, man. It's Inland Sports with Pep, but he's on every Monday and Thursday morning with Sports with Pep, man. You guys rock.
We are the IE. We work hard. In fact, that's the way we like it. We wake up early, we stay up late to get the job done right. That blue-collar, hard-working mentality is the same reason we have so many successful teams and coaches and athletes in the Inland Empire. We never give up. We are a resilient bunch in the IE. Everything we have, we've earned. No excuses. It's this determined attitude is what powers our small businesses, and that's how championships are won. The Inland Sports Team is looking to team up with other like-minded small businesses in the IE. Together, we can grow. We can be bigger and better. If it was easy, everyone would do it, but we're not looking for easy, just looking for an opportunity. Joining the Inland Sports Team could be the opportunity that you've been looking for.
you know, I mean, I always tell, you know, my student athletes that, hey, gains are gains. You know, it's everyone's where they're at, and all you have to worry about is making those small improvements. You know, I see, you know, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I see kids who start off, you know, slow and they end up being really good, you know, and talented student athletes, and I see others who start off really fast and they end up, you know, petering out. You know, and a lot of that has to do with, you know, the hype of being a young student athlete and having all this shine, all this glory, and then you stop working. So, you know, and I hate that. You know, I feel like that's one of the things as a coach you have to, you know, really hammer into your athletes that, you know, it's a journey, you know, and starting in high school or even making it to college, you know, it's just all part of the journey, but not the destination. The destination is growth. Destination is to keep moving forward. So what I do want to see is I want to see them grow. I want to see them grow academically. I want to see them to grow physically. And as long as we get that growth, they're going to, you know, they're going to see some change. They're going to be better off than where they were, and it's going to set them on a good path athletically and academically throughout life. So if you think you're ready to grow, if you think you're ready to move out of your comfort zone, then come train here at Boost. Because I tell you right now, it's not a place to be comfortable. We're going to push you. We're going to help you grow. But if you think you're ready for it, come check us out.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
What's up, everybody? Don't forget, there's 2 Spoiled locations now. I'm at the brand new one right off the 91 freeway at Arlington. You can spoil yourself. You can spoil your car. You come in here, 10 minutes, you're in and you're out. You're back on the road. Go check out Spoiled, local business, locally owned and operated. And they've got the location off the 215 freeway at Alessandro. And this one, the brand new one here off of the 91 at Arlington.
I felt spoiled. It was great. I got in easy. I mean, the price was the best. The price is just helped me out. And what I really enjoyed about it is that they explained to me what was going on today. And I feel like when I walked out of here, I just felt so special. I said I had a new boyfriend. His name is Spoiled.
You got your flower.
And I got the flower.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. We're wrapping things up. You could say we saved the best for last. I think you could really say that here. All the way from Life Pacific is our dear basketball friend, Tim Cook. Hey, Coach Cook, first off, what are the odds, because I just love to chop it up hoops with you, what are the odds that the Lakers and the Bucks, who are both #1 seeds in their respective conferences in the NBA playoffs, what if both #1s get knocked out of the bubble?
Well, it'd be like the Compton Magic and the family from the AAU get knocked out, because the bubble is a strange thing.
Well, I'm watching these NBA playoffs and I'm like, well, you know, my team's the Sacramento Kings, and they suck, and I know that, and I'm not trying to defend them, but I look at these bubble teams and I'm like, you know, there's some games that could be very competitive. Like, I don't feel like there's a clear clear-cut favorite anymore. I feel like we could see, I don't know, like a Denver or Toronto or someone make a run that you weren't really counting on maybe a couple months ago before the pandemic hit.
Well, it's absolutely amazing because you know how many people, like, they talk so negative about when the NBA was trying to start back up and all this, and now it's become this incredible event and the bubble and all that stuff. But my gosh, are they playing some basketball? And it's so I was laughing the other day. Our coaching friends and I, we talk all the time, and we were talking about how we call it the AAU challenge because the other teams like the Celtics were coming in to watch the Bucks play, and the Bucks were watching the Magic play, and they're in this court and playing. And then when the playoffs hit, you got the Blazers just playing like junkyard dogs. I mean, Lillard's got fire in his eyes, and the Lakers are going to have to work. You know, they're going to have to make some adjustments, and they're going to have to do some things. You know, I don't want to sit here and say, oh, Blazers are going to win the series and stuff, but everybody kind of knew when the Blazers got healthy if they were going to, and then the way they played in the bubble, it was unbelievable. It's just really fun to watch because like Utah and Denver today, they're 1-1 and they're going at each other, and Houston was phenomenal last night, but who knows what's in store. Is OKC going to come back? And Orlando beat the Bucks, obviously, and stuff. People got to be enjoying this. I'm really enjoying it because you don't know who's going to win.
Well, Coach, one more NBA question before we start talking some college hoops. But, okay, so call it Inland Empire bias, but if I was going to build a team, I would go with our guy Kawhi Leonard, the pride of King High School right here in the Riv. And considering, two-way, offense, defense, I mean, the guy just rises up to the occasion. NBA Finals, he's the guy. If you were going to build a team, who would you take? Who's your centerpiece?
Oh my gosh! I know it used to be. It used to be AD because I think that he's the most. He's the most versatile player in the NBA. But he's not my favorite player. But I think he's a little soft at times. But gosh, he's so talented. But I still would think that Kawhi would be maybe a 1 or a 2 for me, and then I would look at, like, even people forget about him, but a Steph Curry or a James Harden, someone that's multi-talented. And the reason why is you used to think, hey, let's start things with a center or a post, and now we're positionless basketball, so we don't really have that. Obviously, AD doesn't want to play the 5, and all you have to do is just say, hey, we're going to play positionless basketball. But the guards are really dominating the game. I mean, how could you not say that you want to start your program with Damian Lillard right now? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he is unbelievable, and he's just a dog. But, no, I wouldn't argue with Kawhi. I mean, he's phenomenal. But there's a few. And then if Giannis gets a consistent jump shot, it's over. He's as talented, gifted, and just a freak, of that. But I like the Kawhi right now because he's so solid two-way, and he's a winner. So it's like that's hard to argue. But people forget how good Steph Curry is, and that I don't know. It's hard to pick one guy, isn't it? Right now in the NBA, there's so much talent.
There is a lot of talent right now. And I'm glad you brought up Damian Lillard, who, from Weber State. And I heard the rumor on the street is the next Damian Lillard could be Austin Cook at Idaho State. That's what I'm hearing out there.
Okay, you want to laugh? The next Duncan Robinson or Joe Harris is Austin Cook.
Yes, there you go.
He would not be Damian Lillard. I don't know if that, but yeah, just I'll tell you what. Shout out to Coach Looney and Coach White and Coach Mack and Coach Furman and the staff at Idaho State. Austin went over there on June 10th, and he has had an unbelievable summer. Prior to Damien High School, he's going to have an incredible, successful career at Idaho State, and he's right in the mix for a starting spot at the wing. And I told him, just plug away, don't put pressure on yourself, just be who you are and be who they want you to be. And he's absolutely loving it. He's about. Gosh, he's 6'4", 6'5", about almost 210. I got a picture today of him in the weight room, and he looks like a fifth-year senior.
Coach, Idaho State, what's the farthest they travel to Southern California? Like, are they even remotely close? Like, have you seen their schedule?
Yeah, it's incredible. I got a sneak peek, so let's tell you, you're going to love this. So let me just throw it down, a sneak peek. I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, though.
Here we go.
November 15th at UCSB, and I don't have a game, so I'm going to that one. November 27th, here's a big one.
Okay.
Friday after Thanksgiving at UCR.
No.
Hey, I waited to do this on this sports show. So, and then here's the big one.
UC Riverside.
November 27th. Mark your calendar. It gets better, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But December 13th at USC.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And that's assuming we got college basketball on a normal schedule, right?
Oh, please. Gosh. And listen to this. This doesn't get any better for a college basketball coach who's a dad who's trying to catch his son. All 3 games are on nights that I don't play and I'm at home.
That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect.
Unbelievable. There it is. Last but not least, we throw the November. I hope I don't get in trouble.
Right now, my phone's blowing up. It's UCR. Like, how dare you?
So they haven't released it yet, but I don't care. What are they going to do? I'm a college basketball coach too. I guess they get mad, but no, it's incredible. So
Coach, what's it looking like for Life Pacific? I mean, are you guys practicing right now? When can you practice? I mean, have you got any sort of guidelines when that might start happening?
Yeah, so the CDC in LA County has just been harsh. It's been a really tough 5-6 months, Pep. We haven't had the lights on in the gym. We can't work out. We can't work out in the gym nor the weight room. My guys, we've all done Zoom calls and connection with them. They're working out on their own. We give them workouts every day. And we're just waiting like everyone else is so that we can open some things up and do some mask things and maybe some pods where you have lower number things. So I'm just praying that it resolves. We had to move our fall sports to spring. Winter sports have not been moved yet. We've got some big Division I games on our schedule. So in the preseason, I'm really worried about those because we get paid for those. So it's been really, really tough, but it's been tough on everyone. I have more empathy for people that have lost their jobs and people have lost loved ones more than, trying to do a schedule and everything. I mean that sincerely, but I know we want to get back to things and normal. But man, it's really been a tornado, this COVID-19. It's really been destructive in a lot of different ways, which I told my wife in March when it happened, I really thought that this was going to be longer than people thought it was going to be. So yeah. I hate to say that. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like you're right. I think a lot of us going back a couple months were like, well, we'll just get through the summer and then things will get back on track and we'll be good. And here we are. Like you said, all the fall sports being pushed back to the spring, which it's not just Life Pacific. I mean, you just look around the landscape of college sports and everyone basically is taking their fall sports and saying, okay, we're postponing them, I guess you could say. We're going to reevaluate in the spring and see if we can play them. But as the basketball coach as well, like at least, like I said, we have a little bit of time still before basketball season. At least they're still saying, okay, there's a chance. Let's, reassess. We'll gauge our options a little bit farther down the road. And maybe we still have hoops like normal come first week, second week in November. Yeah, and I'm hoping so. I mean, we have such a great opportunity. Like we play 4 Division I's this year, and it's a huge thing for our branding. Our sports, we've grown into 11 sports now. We're in the toughest conference in the country, arguably, the GSAC, with Masters and Vanguard and Hope International. It's a great brand of basketball. We sent 6 teams to the national tournament, and I just think people we so much need sports obviously in our life, and for us we integrate faith and sports, but it's so hard because it's such a catch-22 because you're dealing with health and safety of young men and women, and I'm the athletic director too, and so I have obviously a lot of thoughts and processes into the dynamics of pushing sports back and having sports and workouts, and our trainers have done an unbelievable job in the processes. Our sports staff has been incredible. I also, empathize and sympathize for people that, may get furloughed because of low numbers at schools, and we've been seeing that. So but you got to stay positive and stay focused. This is a season, and we're going to get through this just like we have everything else. And we got to keep our chins high and keep our athletes engaged in the educational process. And we got them online, and we're just communicating to them and just caring for them, and we're going to be okay. I think so.
Well, Coach, we got to run, but I do want to say this, and I mean this completely honestly, because back in the day, I used to wear my hat just like you, and I would take like a soup can or a can of chili, and I'd put it on the bill of my cap with a rubber band to get that perfect U. What are you doing to get that perfect U? I mean, that is professional grade A hat bill working right there.
Oh, dude, how about this is our era right here? You don't like the flat thing. Guess what you do? Rubber band.
That's it.
Right there. Rubber band.
I can tell you know exactly what you're doing when it comes to forming that hat, because that's perfect. It's like perfect on both sides. Like it's exactly perfect.
Yes, in Nike. We only wear Nike stuff at LPU, so I'm not trying to plug. They don't need any plug. We need more of a plug at LPU than Nike does. So. How about you got to say something real quick before we end. Yeah. How about the announcement of Idaho State coming into UCR? And how about me getting a phone call after this?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm sure you or I or both of us will be getting a text message or a phone call saying, what? Why did you let that leak? But no, that's big. Idaho State at UCR, that's big.
I'll take the bullet for this one. I think it's huge. It's awesome.
Coach, take care. It's always good seeing you. God bless you and your family, and stay safe out there.
Thank you. You too. Awesome to have. Thank you for having me on the show. I'll see you soon.
All right. See you, Coach. That's Tim Cook from Life Pacific here on the Inland Sports Show. Just chopping it up, just talking hoops, NBA, college hoops, and breaking news. Idaho State at UC Riverside on November 27th. You won't hear that anywhere else but right here on the Inland Sports Show. Big thanks to our title sponsors, Spoiled, Quick Quality Oil Change, Boost Performance Training, and Ken Sporting Goods. We love you guys. We'll be back next Wednesday, first pitch, 6:05 p.m. on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. Good night, everybody.